As the NFL new league year creeps closer and closer, the Chiefs have a lot of tough decisions to make. Who is going to go? Who is going to stay? Who will retire? And who can Kansas City even afford to keep? In exactly 4 weeks, Kansas City will have to make those calls. So time to talk through how different the Chiefs' 2025 roster could look in just 1 month. What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Happy Wednesday. I'm Hayley Lewis, and this is Chiefs News Daily. No time to rest. Offseason giving Kansas City's front office no breaks. It's time to roll through the list of names who might be moving on. But first, give us a like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel. And let's get this episode going. Will he stay or will he go? I'm sure by now you have seen the clip online of Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce discussing if he's going to return next season. The video comes from his podcast, The New Heights Show, where his brother Jason asked his thoughts on returning to the NFL next season. Kelce had this to say.
I know everybody wants to know whether or not I'm playing next year, and right now I'm just kicking everything down the road. I'm kicking every can I can down the road, and I'm not making any crazy decisions, but right now the biggest thing is just being there for my teammates and being there for my coaches, understanding, that there's a lot that goes into this thing. I've been fortunate over the past 5-6 years. I've played more football than anybody.
Yeah.
And it's because the people that are in that building and the fact that we keep going to these AFC championships and these Super Bowls. And that means I'm playing an extra 3 games more than everybody else in the entire league. And that's a lot of wear and tear on your body. And it's a lot of time spent in the building. Focusing on your craft, focusing on the task at hand, every challenge that you set up for yourself. And it's that process can be grueling. It can weigh on you. It can make you better, and it can drive you crazy at the same time. And right now, it's one of those things where it was kind of driving me crazy this year. And I think that it happens as you kind of tail off towards the back 9 of your career, as a SVP would say, is, it's as you see yourself or not feel yourself have the success that you once used to have, man, it's a tough pill to swallow. And then on top of that, to not be there in the biggest moments, knowing your team's counting on you, man. Those are all extremely hard things to, it's just a tough reality. And,
yeah.
I think I'm going to take some time to figure it out. And I think I owe it to my teammates that if I do come back, that it's going to be something that it's a wholehearted decision. I'm not half-assing it, and I'm fully here for them. And I think I could play. It's just whether or not I'm motivated or it's the best decision for me as a man, as a human, as a person to take on all that responsibility.
Now, Kelce just finished his first year of a 2-year contract with the Chiefs. If he comes back, he will carry a $19.8 million cap hit for the 2025 season. Next season would be the 35-year-old's 13th year playing in the NFL. Nick Shook with the NFL.com writes, he's put in an incredible run of production, earning 4 first-team All-Pro selections, 10 Pro Bowl nods, 3 Super Bowl victories, and a place on the Pro Football Hall of Fame's All-Decade team for the 2010s. He's also seen his production dip slightly over the last 2 seasons, falling short of 1,000 receiving yards in 2023 and 2024 after clearing the mark annually from 2016 up until 2022. Now, SportingNews.com writes, if Kelce were to retire, the Chiefs would owe only $2,551,667,000 in dead cap hit. That would make Kansas City save $17.25 million if he chose to hang up his cleats. Now, the Chiefs would also save money if they were to release him, but given what he's meant to the team and his recent success, it doesn't seem like that's how they're simply going to let him go. 2 sides would probably likely rework his contract if he doesn't outright retire. So if Kelce decides to hang it up, who's going to replace him? The Chiefs currently have Noah Gray playing behind Kelce, Rookie Jared Wiley on the IR after tearing his ACL. Also, Jody Fortson, who rejoined the Chiefs this season, tore his ACL, landing him on the IR. Other tight ends include Peyton Hendershot, who joined the team early in the season via trade from Dallas, and practice squad player Baylor Cupp, who just signed a reserve/future contract with the team. So if Kelce chooses to step away from football, the Chiefs, without a doubt, are going to have to utilize the upcoming NFL draft to bolster back up that position group. All right, Tuesday, the Chiefs got to cracking on their 2025 roster. The NFL transaction wire shows Kansas City re-signed the majority of the practice squad players to reserve/future contracts. Here's the list of those 11 players. Safety Deion Bush, quarterback Chris Olodokun, wide receiver Justin Ross, tight end Baylor Cupp, offensive tackle Chu Godric, wide receiver Tyquan Thornton, wide receiver Jason Brownlee, defensive tackle Siaki Ika, defensive tackle Fabian Lovett, cornerback Darius Rush, and cornerback Eric Scott. This means that these 11 players can't reach free agency or be signed by another team. Now, the Chiefs had a week post-Super Bowl before practice squad contracts would officially expire. The remaining names who could now be free agents in the future are as follows. Running back Keontae Ingram, cornerback Nick Jones, linebacker Swayze Bozeman, wide receiver Montreal Washington, tight end Anthony Fisker, linebacker Cole Christensen, and cornerback Steven Nelson. Rather than force teams to wait until the new league year in March to start stocking their training camp roster, the league allows teams to sign players in advance. These players don't count against the 53-man roster, but they do count against the 90-man roster once the new league year comes. That's why these contracts are called reserve/future deals. These players are held in reserve until the future. If you remember, the Chiefs actually signed a few players back in January to future contracts as well. So practice squads cease to exist as soon as the team season is over or 1 week post the Super Bowl, which means for Kansas City, these 7 players above will become free agents next week unless deals are in the works. Existing contracts for players on the 53-man roster don't technically expire until the current league year ends in March. Players whose contracts will expire include this lengthy list, all of which become unrestricted free agents and can sign with any team if not re-signed by the end of the new league year, which starts on March 12th. We have guard Trey Smith, linebacker Nick Bolton, safety Justin Reed, defensive end Charles Omenihu, defensive end Turk Wharton, left tackle DJ Humphries, wide receiver Marquise Brown, wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver Justin Watson, wide receiver McCole Hardman, running back Kareem Hunt, defensive tackle Derek Nottie, defensive tackle Mike Pinnell, running back Samaje Perine, wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, defensive tackle Marlon Tuipulotu, outside linebacker Josh Uche, quarterback Carson Wentz, long snapper James Winchester, and tight end Jody Fortson. Now, there are 2 more types of free agents we got to mention. Restricted free agents, or RFAs, are players with 3 accrued seasons and an expired contract. RFAs are free to negotiate and sign with any team, but their original team can offer them one of various qualifying offers, so tenders, that come with the right of first refusal and or draft pick compensation. So if tender is withdrawn by a team, the RFA becomes an unrestricted free agent. The Chiefs currently have 4 players who fall into this category. They are linebacker Jack Cochran, defensive end Malik Herring, tight end Peyton Hendershot, and quarterback Keith Taylor. Now, lastly, there are exclusive rights free agents, or ERFAs. If any player with fewer than 3 accrued seasons and an expired contract, if his original team offers him a 1-year contract at the league minimum based on the credited seasons, the player cannot negotiate with other teams. So the Chiefs also have 4 players that are ERFAs. Offensive guard Mike Caliendo, quarterback Nazi Johnson, kicker Spencer Schrader, and punter Matt Ariza. So keep your eyes out for potentially more transactions in the coming days as the Chiefs general manager Brett Veach continues to work on the 2025 roster ahead of the new league year. The key issue for Kansas City this offseason is they currently don't have much financial wiggle room. At the moment, KC has just $11.5 million in available cap space. All right, we're going to wrap up the show on a positive note. ESPN's Jeff Darlington shared this tweet after covering the Chiefs all week long at the Super Bowl. He says, as the dust settles on a tough Super Bowl loss, it'll probably take some time to appreciate the historical run from the Chiefs. And they'll surely keep adding to this resume, but some context into just how unprecedented these last 3 seasons were. 49 wins, most ever in a 3-season span, including the playoffs, back-to-back Super Bowls, plus a 3rd straight appearance, the first team to do so None of the previous 7 teams made it for a third Super Bowl who were back-to-back champs, and 3 of those teams missed the playoffs altogether. Kansas City had 9 playoff wins in both 2021 till 2023 and 2022 till 2024. Both are tied with each for most ever in a 3-year span. Patrick Mahomes is most accomplished QB before 30, 5 more wins than Brady, 21 more touchdowns than anyone else. And Travis Kelce surpassed Jerry Rice for all-time record of most career playoff receptions. Now, it might sound like this is just another way to cope after a terrible loss, but the truth is this team is nothing short of incredible when you look at what Kansas City has been able to do consistently. And the key word I use here is consistently. What they've accomplished over the last 7 seasons, it should shift your perspective. Yes, losses like the 2018 AFC Championship game, Super Bowl 55, Super Bowl 59 now, and the 2021 AFC Championship game are definitely going to haunt Patrick Mahomes. But Super Bowl 54, Super Bowl 57, and Super Bowl 58 should ease the sting. That's 3 times more Super Bowl wins than Joe Burrow or Josh Allen, and that's 2 times more than Jalen Hurts. The only person to beat Mahomes on the biggest stage who has more rings is now retired. So the sky is the limit for Mahomes, who is definitely going to use this as fuel to come back even better. Alrighty, folks, that does it for another episode of Chiefs News Daily. Again, we'll be back tomorrow. In the meantime, we ask that you like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. We'll see you back here on Thursday.